Close-in rod tore off with this beautiful carp. I don't know what the lake record is in here, but this must be one of the bigger ones. Good morning, and we are at the end of September. It's a lot colder than I was expecting it to be, I have to admit, but we are at Baulking Lakes, one of the embryo lakes. It's a 20-acre lake, and I have to say it does look stunning this morning with this sunlight and the mist breaking off the surface. But we're here for a session for a few days, and we're hoping to get amongst some of these stunning embryo carp. We fished it about this time last year and we did pretty well, so we're hoping to repeat that. The forecast for the next few days is cold overnight, sunny during the day, so we're going to do a two-pronged attack really. Here you can only use one zig for 3 rods, so we are going to put an adjustable zig out because the lake's quite deep, but we are going to do a bit of a bait and weight approach as well. We've walked the lake this morning. We've seen most activity down this end of the lake, so this is where we're going to start. We're not going to set up base camp straight away. We're going to put out 3 rods, give it an hour or so and see what happens. So wish us luck. We'll carry on getting set up, and we'll see what the next couple of hours brings. Bosh, back of the net, blank saved. Nice. So the rod's been out an hour. The bait's bottom bait rig, so a singles cast out quite close. Sorry, rod's just beeped again. But fished over a nut 365 pop-up, and I've saved the blank, so very happy with this fish. Just under 17 pound, so very nice start. Perfect little mirror. We're gonna recast the rods, probably leave it half an hour, and we might put some more bait over the top, and we'll see what we get the rest of the session. But a great start. So we're into our second fish of the session. It's just gone midday, and this one took off like an absolute train. A bottom bait again, so a little high vis wafter, one of the Beetalin Plus bright pinks. Again, a nice spread of the nut 365 boilies over the top, and it just went and did not stop. So we're hoping that we'll get to see what it is. Oh, dude! Bounce a bit. So it's just gone midday, and one of the bottom baits screamed off again, this time high vis wafter, one of the Beetalin Plus, and I just could not hold this fish at the start. She just ran and ran. Just a few ounces, under 30 pound, but again, I don't care. What an awesome fish from this Baulking Lake. Fantastic. So we're gonna put some more bait out, I think we'll bait quite heavy because we've had 2 fish over bait now. So it looks as if that's what they're looking for. And we'll have a recast and see if we can add to our tally. So it's late afternoon, well, about 20 to 4. And we've been very lucky to be into another fish. So it's another fish off the deck. Fishing over the nice freshly made Nut 365 boilies. This is a very angry carp. Hopefully we can get her in the net to show you. Like all the lakes at the moment across the UK, the water level's quite low. I don't want to drag this one across the bottom, so I'm carefully going in. Let's see if we can get her head up. There she is. And hopefully we can slip the net under the 3rd Baulking carp. Oh, pretty scaly one if I can get it in the net. Very pretty fish. Come on, we've got her. So, another Baulking mirror. I think it was 1814, this one. So very nice. Gorgeous colours on it as well, and it fought like an absolute demon. Taken off the deck again in about 18 foot of water. A Nut 365 pop-up doing the business for me. So 3rd one of the trip, and the day is young. We're just coming up to 4 o'clock, so we've got a few hours before it gets dark. Hopefully they'll move on this wind and we can catch a few more. So stay tuned and we'll see what we can do.
What a fantastic start. It'd been a while since we had been at Baulking, and we were a bit worried that we wouldn't be able to suss it out quick enough, but it didn't take long for Mark to get into the action. All of the bites seemed to come off of the marginal shelves, although we saw plenty showing out in the middle, we were unable to get a bite.
So just before 6 o'clock, and my 4th fish of the session. Another 23 ounces, another one on the Nut 365. Off the bottom in 18 foot of water again. So we'll get some more bait out, we'll get the rods back out and see if we can get one more before it gets dark. But chuffed to bits with this one. Look at the scales and the colours. Another gorgeous Baulking mirror. So good evening. It's just gone 6:30. The sun's setting over the trees around the lake. So it looks pretty gorgeous at the moment, and as you can see, I'm on cooking duty. So we have chicken fajitas for our tea tonight. But somewhere today, it's been a good day. 4 bites, 4 fish, 2 20s, 2 upper doubles. So very pleased with the results so far today. We've tried zigs when we've seen some fish topping out in front of us, but they haven't worked so far. So we're back on the bottom. We've got Ronnie rigs on with some pop-ups, high-vis pop-ups, and we've been feeding some freshly cooked boilies over the top. And we've had some good bites, and the fish here are just manic. They are so fit. They all look as if they've never been caught before. And it's been a good day. I hope that we've probably got about another hour of daylight, I think. So still time to get another bite in the daylight, but I'm pretty hopeful that we might get some during the night as well. When we got here under the cover of darkness this morning, we definitely saw more fish moving around and topping than we have done probably all day. So we're quite hopeful of a few bites overnight and not too much sleep, especially first light tomorrow morning. So me and Steve are going to kick back. We're going to have our tea. We might have a beer, and then we will hopefully be able to update you with another fish before the sun goes down. Otherwise, you might see us during the night.
What a fantastic day. It really was a great start and return to Baulking Lakes. We sat back, enjoyed our chicken fajitas, had that beer, put the worlds to right, and called it a night just as we lost the light.
Morning. So, very quiet overnight really. When I say quiet, rods were quiet, had the few odd beeps. There were a lot of fish rolling last night. Difficult to see because it was quite cold and quite misty, but there was a lot of fish rolling. But no fish, no nighttime bites. So the rods have been reset this morning. We've got a couple of zigs back out and we're concentrating on our bait and weight approach again, which worked yesterday. So we're hoping to get a few more. We are on our second cup of tea, which isn't enough, so we need a few more. But yeah, today I think we're going to approach it, learn from what we did yesterday. We'll keep zigs out for the next hour or so, and then I think we've had a chat, and I think we'll probably go all out singles on the bottom, with scattering a bait over the top with a catapult. So we're not fishing at extreme range because it's just so deep here. It slopes off to 40 foot. So we're on the edge of the drop off. And I think that's what we'll plan to do today. We might bring the rods in an hour, have a walk around the lake, just make sure that we're not missing something. But yeah, that's our plan for today. So we'll keep with the Nut 365 boilie approach, which has worked for us so far. We'll keep trickling a bit of bait in. And it's bait and weight, I think. But we'll update you again very soon, hopefully with a fish or with a plan B. So you join me now. It's just gone 11 o'clock. And as you can see, we've connected with another carp. It went on a huge initial run that I couldn't really hold. And I have to admit to being a little bit nervous because 10-15 minutes ago, we did have another carp on and we lost it to a hook pull. So I'm a little bit nervous with this one because it has been over 12 hours since we had our last fish, and it would be nice to get this one in the net. So this fell to a wafter, a little white wafter. We've been using pop-ups and wafters on this trip. They've been the most successful. Slightly different rigs, so we will share those with you in due course as well, of what we've been doing today. But I am going to concentrate on getting this fish in because it is well and truly beating me up. So I'm going to concentrate on trying to get this fish in the net, and hopefully have a picture of it in my arms shortly. So I'm very pleased to report that we managed to land that one. So this is number 5, a 28 pounder. And I think you will agree, what a stunner. These Baulking carp really, I cannot say how pretty they are. Dark colours, scaly, they fight to the moon and back. They're just in mint condition. Had a really good trip. It's not over yet, so hopefully we'll get some more. But this one was taken on a little wafter, and what we'll do once we've got this one back is we'll get the rod back out and then we'll show you some of the rigs we're using today. So we said earlier, we take a look at the rigs that we've been using on this trip. So we've done 3 different tactics so far. We've used zigs, we've used wafters, and we've used pop-ups. So my go-to wafter rig is quite a long fluorocarbon D rig. So this is what we've been using on this trip, and it's caught us our 2 biggest fish, so the 28 and the 29 so far. The wafters we've been using some fluo pink wafters and the new beetling and blackcurrant white wafters as well. All of these new wafters, they're all a different size now. They're slightly smaller than they were before, perfectly buoyant for the wafter fishing that we want to do. And all of these do come with a little pot of booster liquid as well. So you can keep your baits smelling ultra fantastic the whole time. The other rig we've been using is the classic now, the Ronnie rig. So these are all made with quarter end tackle. The Ronnie rigs, I like the size 4 cranks. And again, we've been using pop-ups on these, and we've been using, for this trip, the Nut 365. This has caught us 3 fish so far. Again, these are the little booster liquids that come with them. So I deliberately didn't put this one in so I could show you it today. But when they arrive, they already smell awesome, but a little bit of extra attraction, make your hook bait really punch. All of the Hinders hook bait range come with these little booster pots as well, which is a great addition. So the other thing we've been doing today is we've been zig fishing. It hasn't worked. The reason we think it hasn't worked this time, because the last time we fished here, it was an awesome tactic. Unfortunately, there's been quite a severe algae bloom, and the lines are getting covered in algae. So we think that when this is up in the water, the algae is catching on this and it's probably highlighting it. I love these little black zig bugs that you can get. I cut a little slit in so they sit on the hook perfect in the water as well. And of course, have to soak it in beetling. My favorite for zigs is the beetling and plum, but I also like soaking it in the hemp oil, or the chili hemp oil as well, is a really good edge when you're using zigs. So that's the tactics we've been using so far. Definitely fishing over bait has been the one. Sit and wait. Not a tactic I use an awful lot. I do tend to keep a lot more mobile on these sessions, but we haven't seen an awful lot around the lake, and this has definitely been the best, I feel, on this session, the best way to do it. We have just actually put a solid bag out as well, just to try, so over the baited area, and just to see if that, with the bag full of little pellets, low oil pellets with some additional oil put in there as well, and hopefully we'll see if that compares to the other 2 rigs. We're hopeful of another bite. It is just gone lunchtime now. We've got a while yet, so I'm hopeful of another fish. But these are the rigs we've been using today. So for wafters, the D rig, the pop-ups on the Ronnies, and then some of the awesome bait range that we've got here as well. So yeah, that's what we've been doing on this trip.
If you've made it this far, you've done incredibly well, so big thank you. We do try to keep these videos as informative as possible. That said, Mark's going to go over a little bit more about Baulking Lakes, so please stay tuned as we've got a very special fish on its way.
So this session I am fishing Baulking Lakes. This is a lake between Swindon and Oxford, so it's quite local to me. It's only about 40 minutes door to door, which is great. Baulking Lakes is part of the Embryo Lakes fisheries. This one's slightly different in that it can be booked as a lake exclusive. There's no day tickets as such. So it's a 20-acre, 14-swim lake, and you can block book it for up to 10 anglers. The bookings run from Friday to Monday and Monday to Friday. So you can book this lake exclusively with 10 anglers, or what you can also do, they offer you the chance of booking it with a group of 4 of you and then 2 groups of 3. So there's lots of options here, and because there's 14 swims as well, and there's only ever a maximum of 10 anglers allowed, If you choose to swim and the fish just aren't in front of you, there is always the option to get on your toes and move to where the fish are. So I highly recommend this place. Me and Steve have fished it twice now. We've caught some stunning fish, and they really are like they've never been caught. They're not particularly difficult to catch. They do give themselves away quite a lot. This trip we have definitely found that they do like a bit of bait. So bait and weight has worked for us this time. So if you're looking for somewhere lake exclusive for you and your mates to come away, and I'm gonna have to go because I've got to run, but yeah, get on the lake. Now, dude. As I was just saying, introducing you to Baulking Lakes, I had another bite and I was rudely interrupted, so I am very sorry about that, but not sorry at the same time. So as you can see, this fish is running and running. I've got a lot of pressure on that spool, and it's not taken a breath yet. So I really hope I will get to show you this fish, and we will see what we can do. But it's an awesome fishery. As I said, the fish are just super healthy. It's very deep. It goes to 40 foot in the middle. It slowly drops off. So there's no cliff face or anything. There's very little weed in here. And this one's come off. Ah, dear. Right, we will recast and try again.
Absolutely gutted. Nothing worse than losing a fish. But knowing how these fish respond, it was critical to get the rod straight back out, a little bit more bait, and sit and pray for another opportunity.
So, after the disappointment of just losing one, I was sat sulking on my chair, and the rod, a close-in rod, tore off with this beautiful carp. I don't know what the lake record is in here, but this must be one of the bigger ones. This has pulled the scales round to 39 pounds 8. And we did weigh it twice. We zeroed the scales twice just to be doubly sure. What a monster. Taking on the Nut 365. Oh, I haven't got the words really. Chuffed to bits with this. So, a top tip from me. The power of beetling is well known. I'm not rewriting the book or anything on this, but I really would support adding this to any kind of bait that you use, whether you make your own, whether you buy it from us or from somebody else. One of the things I've done on this trip to enhance hook bait is the little pots, flavor enhancer pots that come with it. What I do is, if you can see, there's a little bit of a gap in there. So I put just a couple of drops of the awesome original beetling in there, mix it up as hard as I can, and then I add this to the hook baits. It's just an awesome little edge. I add beetling and plum to my maggots in the winter. There's just nothing that this stuff doesn't enhance. The sweet, super sweet taste. You can't overdo it, but at the same time, you don't need very much of this. It is super, super sweet. Another edge that I do sometimes, if I'm not using this one on the Nut 365, is the sweet almond as well. That can work really, really well. But if you take anything from this, just please, the beetling is an awesome product. Get on it. It should be in your armory. No matter what sort of fishing you do, this stuff will help put more fish on the bank. So literally, just gone and sat back down to have a cup of tea, and the rod tore off again with this awesome common. First common of the trip, 31 pounds 6 ounces. Absolutely awesome on the Nut 365 again on the pop-ups. Oh, what a session this is turning into. Awesome fish on an awesome venue.
Just when you think things couldn't possibly get any better after that immaculate 39 8-ounce Baulking mirror, Mark was in to another fish.
So just as we were packing down, getting everything ready to chuck it back in the van, contemplating one last cuppa, the rod screamed off once more. Nut 365, the little booster pot and the little tip I gave you with the beetle in, putting another fish in the net, just over 29 pound. And the awesome news for me is that the last fish, the last mirror that I caught, the 39 pounder, has been confirmed as a new lake record. So doubly chuffed. But what a session we've had. 10 bites, 8 fish landed. The only bad thing about it is we've had to cut the session short after 36 hours because I've got to go back to work tomorrow morning first thing. So we've had to cut it short. But what an awesome venue. Had a cracking 36 hours. Can't wait to come back. These awesome fish. So we've had 2 upper doubles. We've had a few 20s and a couple of 30s as well. Fantastic trip. And we'll see you all on the next one.